Hey guys, Quacker Spooks here with another set of NFL predictions. This time it's week 6. I'm a little bit late, as I have been the past couple of weeks, but that's okay because there's no score with Commanders Bears. I'm picked the Washington Commanders to win this game as an underdog, so I'm gonna completely skip it because that's what I do usually when I'm late. The Baltimore Ravens take on the New York Giants. I'm going to have to say the Ravens. The Giants actually look good, but the Ravens look a little bit better. I hope they can keep a lead. They did beat Cincinnati on Sunday night. The Giants currently are 4-1. They'll probably be 4-2, and the Ravens will be 4-2 as well. So, yeah. Yeah, I can't believe we finished the first third of the season. Regular season, at least. So, yeah. I'm picking the Ravens to beat the Giants. The Jacksonville Jaguars take on the Indianapolis Colts. I'm gonna pick the Indianapolis Colts to beat the Jaguars. Jaguars didn't really look that convincing against the Houston Texans, and they gave them their first win. Colts had an ugly win against Denver on Thursday night. It was a terrible football game. But I think they could beat the Jags at home. They just have trouble against Jacksonville in Jacksonville. So I think they could beat I think the Colts could beat the Jags here. So the Colts will be 3-2-1, and the Jaguars will fall to 2-4. The New England Patriots take on the Cleveland Browns, and the Browns have lost in ugly fashion the past 2 weeks against the Falcons and Chargers. The Patriots completely shut out the Detroit Lions last week, but I think the Browns could come up with the win at home. The Browns will improve from 2-3 to 3-3, and the Patriots will be 2-4. I don't think they're that good. This year, at least. The Cincinnati Bengals take on the New Orleans Saints. I'm going to be picking the Saints. Taysom Hill looked really good against, who did they just play? I forget. But I know they won. Oh, yeah, Seattle. They beat Seattle. It was a really good game. Really good offensive game for both teams, but the Saints came up victorious. And the Bengals haven't looked that great at all, especially against Baltimore on Sunday night. Running a Philly special with Marcus Peters blowing it up is not a good look. So, yeah, I'm going to be picking the Saints. The Saints look better. Bengals have been playing very lackluster past few weeks, so maybe it's the Super Bowl hangover or something. Maybe it's they came back in clutch to bet the Bungles again. So I'm gonna pick the Saints. They will improve to 3-3, and the Bengals will be 2-4, I believe. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh boy, am I picking Tampa Bay for this match? Steelers look awful, especially on offense. Their defense is messed up. But yeah, Tampa Bay is going to come down to Pittsburgh and whoop their ass, basically. So, yeah, Steelers will be 1-5. Tampa Bay, they'll be what are they now? 3-2. They'll be 4-2. The San Francisco 49ers take on the Atlanta Falcons. I'm going to pick the 49ers. 49ers look better with Jimmy G. Falcons still have some work to do, especially on that offensive front. But who knows? I don't get most of the picks right anyway. I get like 7 of them wrong usually, because most of them are upsets too. So I don't think I've ever gotten less than half of the predictions right. So I'm going to pick the 49ers. The 49ers, I believe, will improve to 4-2. Let me just check. Yep, and the Falcons will be... Look at that, the commies have the ball. Oh, by the way, I will go over bye weeks as well. After I get all the predictions done. So the 49ers will beat the Falcons. They'll be 4-2, and the Falcons will fall to 2-4. I don't think they're a playoff contender. I think they're just a pretender. The New York Jets take on the Green Bay Packers. I'm going to pick Green Bay. That may not be a smart decision, especially with their loss to the Giants. But I doubt that they will have more than 4 losses this year, because it's a Matt LaFleur, and all of his seasons with Green Bay, he's had 13 wins. So of course they'll probably find a way to go 13-4 and make the playoffs. So anyways, I'm going to pick the Packers. They'll be 4-2, and the Jets will be 3-3. They'll still be 500. So, the Minnesota Vikings take on the Miami Dolphins, both of which are good offensively, but I'm going to pick Minnesota. The Dolphins currently don't have Tua. Currently do not have Tua due to the concussion protocol. And the implemented concussion protocol, and I think that with Tua's luck, he'll probably be back on that field at the end of the year. I don't know what happened in week 4, but I don't think that's just Tupo's fault. Anyway, I think it was the Dolphins' fault for putting him out there, even though he was diagnosed with a concussion. So they were like, yeah, he'll be fine. And then he gets bolted to the ground by Josh Tupou, and everybody's freaking out over it. So, well, yeah, because he was in a fencing position too. So they have a reason to freak out over it. But I'm picking the Vikings. They'll be 5-1. The Dolphins will fall to 3-3 after a lackluster 3-0 start. I honestly thought this Dolphins squad was going to be good, but I think the Vikings... Oh, did somebody score? Nope. I think it's the end of the first. Yep, it's the end of the first quarter. So, no score currently. But I'm going to pick the Vikings. They look good. Kevin O'Connell is running that team really well. And I think Mike McDaniel is as well. But one of these teams has to win, because if they tie, it's not going to look good on their record. So, that's just me, like... You know, ties only determined in playoffs. But, like if you tie early in the year, like the Colts and Texans did, it's just a third category of game. But it just doesn't add up. Anyways, I'm going to pick the Vikings. They'll be 5-1. The Dolphins will be 3-3. The Carolina Panthers take on the Los Angeles Rams, and yes, they did lose to the Houston Texans and are currently 2-3. But I think they'll bounce back to 3-3 against the Panthers. They just fired their head coach Matt Rhule, which is really good because he was an incompetent coach anyway. And Steve Wilkes is their interim head coach, so he'll probably get a head coaching job if he does good. But Panthers did the right thing by firing Rhule. Let's just see how Wilkes is. Hopefully that offense isn't as anemic as it was with Baker Mayfield under center. Currently, they're planning on starting P.J. Walker. And the Rams, yeah, I think the Rams do need some work on that offensive line. But I think if Joe Noteboom can come out as a really good offensive tackle, then I think he'll be fine. They don't have the same line as they did during their Super Bowl championship year last year. So that's kind of why they're in the basement right now. It's just that's why they're kind of in the basement right now at 2-3. It's because they don't have that great of an offensive line. Matthew Stafford is trying to throw the ball to a Cooper Kupp all the time when he has receivers down. They had Odell Beckham Jr. and Van Jefferson, who's on the IR. And Odell Beckham suffered a torn ACL during the Super Bowl. So that's why he's not with the team right now. Either that or he signs with another team. So I'm going to pick the Rams to beat the Panthers. They'll bounce back to 500, be 3-3. The Panthers will fall to 1-5. I think they'll get a top draft pick this year. Oh, look at that. Did somebody score? Oh, no. No. It's 3rd and 6 at the Washington 29-yard line. So, anyways, I'm going to pick the Rams. The Arizona Cardinals take on the Seattle Seahawks, and I am not sure why I'm saying this, but the Seahawks actually look pretty decent. The Cardinals, yeah, I think they went back to 2018 form when they had Carson Palmer under center. Oh, wait, that was 2017. Never mind. When they had Carson Palmer under center and he couldn't throw the ball, the problem is I think it's offensive line. Receivers can't catch. Marquise Brown is not really... Hollywood's not doing great with the Cardinals. And I think the Ravens are succeeding without him. Rashad Bateman is getting more of an offensive role. Hollywood Brown is not really doing that great, especially since he's related to Antonio Brown. He's his cousin. It's literally Antonio Brown's cousin. But, you know, he was a good receiver for Baltimore for the 3 years he had with them. This is his 4th year in the league. As for the Seahawks, I think Geno Smith is doing really good, slinging the ball to DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, and a solid tight end core. Not that solid of an offensive line, but I think it can work. So I'm picking the Seahawks to beat the Cardinals. Cardinals will fall to 2-4, and the Seahawks, I believe, will be 3-3. So, yeah. Buffalo Bills take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and you probably know what I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. We're currently 4-1. We escaped the Raiders. Thank God. I bet the refs paid us to win anyway, so... But a win's a win, right? Anyways, it's gonna be an offensive showdown, but I think it'll probably go to overtime, And the Chiefs will win in overtime just like they did in the playoffs. I know the Bills beat us in week 5 of 2021. And we beat them in week 6 of 2020, I'm sorry. The COVID year. But this is 2022, and we're a different team now than when we were last year. So, yeah, we're going to beat the Bills. I'm sorry. It's not going to be a blowout, but I think it's going to be a really good game. That's why they have they'll probably have Nance and Romo on that one. That's probably I think it's one of the national broadcasted games. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm picking the Chiefs to beat the Bills. The Dallas Cowboys take on the Philadelphia Eagles, and I think the Eagles will win. The Cowboys, though they are pretty decent, they'll be 4-2, and the Eagles will still be defeated. The Eagles are a really good offensive team. They have pretty solid offensive line. They did well in the draft, especially with Cam Jurgens under center. Well, not under center, just the center. Cam Jurgens is the center. And improving that line pretty well. The Eagles went 9-8 last year and made the playoffs at the 7th seed. They did lose to Tampa Bay though, but I think that they can go places. They already have 5 wins. They're undefeated, and the Cowboys are just the Cowboys. So I think I'm gonna pick the Eagles. They'll stay undefeated at 6-0, and the Cowboys will be 4-2. And I know they beat the Rams, but they're playing the Eagles, so. The Denver Broncos take on the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm going to pick the Chargers. They just beat Cleveland. Go figure. I knew that was going to be a horrible decision for me to pick the Browns. But, who am I to decide on those games, huh? I'm really not. Anyways, and Denver just looks terrible. Nathaniel Hackett is calling terrible football after. You get what I'm saying. It's incomprehensible because Nathaniel Hackett's an idiot. Why would you run a shotgun pass on 4th and 1? Just to let your receivers do all the work. Run the ball. You did exactly what Pete Carroll did in Super Bowl 49. You passed the ball near the goal line and it was intercepted. On a crucial 4th down play. It was just stupid. But the Chargers are going to beat the Broncos. They're currently 3-2. And the Broncos will fall to 2-4, I believe. Or is it 1-5? I have no idea. They're just terrible. But the Chargers, they will improve their record to 4-2. So anyways, that's it for week 6. I'm sorry I'm late. We'll see you guys next week before the Saints-Cardinals game next Thursday. So hopefully that will be reality.